All right, hey guys, this is the first time you've seen our ugly mugs. We are the Den Den Boys. I'm Garth. This is
Vaughn.
And this is the first time we've mucked around with a bit of green screen, so please be kind. Today's a big day. The PlayStation Classic.
PlayStation Classic.
PlayStation Classic arrived.
Releases in Australia.
Yeah.
The rest of the world.
Yeah, so we went and got our hands on it today. And we're going to just do a bit of an introduction or, initial impressions of the console. So I guess we'll start with the actual system, so the hardware itself. So do you want to do a little comparison for those people who haven't seen it? Hold up the Classic versus the PS1 original. It's probably smaller than I even thought it was going to be. Like I was expecting it to be small, but
it literally fits inside the display.
Yeah,
actually.
that's how small it is. It's a hand's width. It's a pretty small console. I mean,
but the attention to detail with the sort of the same features.
Yeah, they've done a nice job with the
braille. The braille on the lid is there. About the only thing I couldn't find was the compact disc logo, which for obvious reasons.
It's much lighter than I anticipated. I mean, there's nothing in it, obviously, but so it's obviously a pretty light unit. But so far, I was impressed straight out of the box with the look of the system, the feel of it, and the like Vaughn said, the attention to detail. It's nicely made.
Yeah.
Aesthetically pleasing. So they've done a good job.
Even the cooling vents on the side, everything's.
Yeah, even the
even the vents underneath.
Yeah, the vents underneath and the pieces.
And the sort of the felt. Kind of
so it's a nice touch. They've gone all out with the design, which they should.
To that end, you can't fault it. The attention to detail. It scores an A+ in that department. No doubt.
The boxing. There's the boxing. They've gone for that original PlayStation boxing, which from my memory had the black boxing with the white logo as well. So they've gone for that original PlayStation logo and branding. And next, I guess, the controls.
Controllers are the first sort of generation PlayStation controllers.
No
analog and no DualShock, no vibration. And I don't know, the cable must be a good sort of $1.20 sort of.
And which was a bit of a bugbear for a lot of the people who had the NES and the SNES Mini who were complaining about the size of the cord. So
be very close to the unit to play on the couch.
Yeah, it's good to see that Sony's at least taken some of that feedback, even though it's not their console, but they've taken some of that feedback from the opposition's consoles. And
if you add the HDMI cable, it buys you some more length as well. Depending on where you've got the power sort of.
So it comes with two controllers, the system, the HDMI cable. And USB. It comes with a USB control. Both controls are USB.
Yep.
And it also comes with a USB power adapter, which before I'd bought it, I'd heard some feedback that it was a bit finicky and it didn't like being plugged into certain things, which I've already found with my TV. I've got a new, LED TV. Sony LED, so you think it's going to work. Plugged into the TV and initially didn't seem to get a response.
Wasn't enough power out of the USB ports on the television, but we used the iPhone.
Yeah, we ended up plugging it straight in. But I mean, the TV, for reference, has charged my 8-bit Do controllers. It's played at some other plug-and-play consoles and other devices. So a little bit strange that it didn't power the PlayStation Classic. But
so there's no power brick included, just the USB.
Yeah, but easy fix. We found an iPhone adapter.
And I mean, everyone's got an iPhone charger somewhere, don't they?
Yeah. So hardware-wise, it's a nice piece of tech, maybe with a little bit of problem with the power controller, but I guess the actual software. So we've plugged it in. We've had a quick play. It's only initial impressions. We haven't played it for too long. We've just played a few games that we're quite familiar with, and to see how they were running on a 50-inch LED screen.
I think it was locked in at 720p for the graphical output. And it's 4:3 ratio is the default setting, so you're getting your black borders down each side of your widescreen to preserve the original aspect ratio. You may be able to fiddle with your TV settings to stretch it if you so desire. But by default it's set to 4:3.
Which we thought was an interesting one, because what's this console? Who's the console aimed at? Are the hardcore gamers really buying this system to play those 20 games on? Because if there are hardcore gamers buying this, they're probably not very impressed with the game lineup. So then to have it in 14.9, 4.3, sorry, is a little bit strange. Wondering why they didn't go with that option to fill the whole screen and then give the hardcore gamers the chance to put it in the correct aspect ratio. So. But yeah, the interface is quite easy. It's just all the games are there on the screen with the wraparound.
Yeah. There's no the boot up sequence was really good. That was
sticks
quality.
to the original boot up, which is
nice and sharp and widescreen.
Yeah.
There's no music when you do get to the hub when you're looking at your games. No, I mean it may not be a deal breaker, but it's sort of in silence.
It's a little bit flat, isn't it? You kind of expected some Sony jingle, background music or jingle or something,
even softly,
just to sort of give it a bit of a wow factor or something. I don't know.
And picture settings, we couldn't see any scanline options.
No. Which a lot of those emulators give you the option to do, to emulate and have scan lines visible or to make them smooth them out.
Or border options too. On the SNES Classic, you can sort of have a border option in those black areas.
Yeah.
So again, it's a bit bare bones and there's it's the bare minimum, and you can access things and navigate, but don't expect too many bells and whistles on top of.
And the emulation itself, to the purist, it probably is a bit jarring to see those 4.3 games stretched out onto a massive LED screen.
So zoomed in a bit, and I guess without the scan lines, and the softer pixel edges. Some of those 32-bit games, which may not have aged, as well as others.
Yeah.
Certainly, when you zoom in and blow them up, it doesn't do them.
Well, by definition, they're not supposed to be played on that screen, are they? So it is a bit jarring. I'm sure the purists will jar a bit at it, especially without the picture options to add those scan lines or to change certain aspect ratios and things like that. So that might jar a few people when they play it. But library, they all play. The interaction, the system works well with rebooting between games and going between games really easy.
Save file.
It has a save file. It has a save point that just saves from the last time you played it. You don't necessarily have to find a save point in the game, which for some of those RPGs could be quite handy for pick up and playing. I guess the software everyone's been talking about, the actual games themselves. What did you think of the list of the games?
Well,
we did a video about what we wanted. We didn't really get that.
There's a lot of AAA, blockbusters that are missing.
Yeah.
We're saying it's almost a list that errs on the side of sort of hidden gems,
a little bit.
which is interesting. But the masses may not be into that. They want their Crash Bandicoots, their Spyros, their Gran Turismos, all the games. But a lot of those are not there. So but that's not a secret, And
so we're talking about why? Why did they do that?
Well,
maybe they had their hands tied by the licensing
agreements that prevented them. I'm sure if they could, they would have had all those games, but they're locked up. So I'm sure the Sony execs, hands were tied, and they did the best they could. And without sort of
little things like a lot of people are expecting something like a Tony Hawk's game to be on there, but a lot of those, like you said, those games have licensed music in them.
The soundtracks, that really, and even like when Crazy Taxi got re-released on other systems, they took out the license music to get so you could do that. So that's not always possible. And of course you lose that original feel.
So maybe, obviously, Sony, by the sounds of things, have probably had their hands tied what they could and couldn't put on the system. But be that as it may,
you've still got Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy.
Look, there's still some good ones on there.
There are some AAA blockbusters, no doubt.
I guess at the end of the day, does it justify the 100? We'll quickly wrap it up. Does it justify the $150 price point?
Well, if you tried to buy those 20 games individually, you'd spend way more than that.
Absolutely.
So in that sense, it's not bad value for money.
Yes.
But it just depends. If you're paying that money expecting a who's who of the AAA set, you're not going to get that. So you may be disappointed. But then it's no secret. So if you don't like the games list, don't buy it.
For me, it's a $150 collector piece. I was always going to buy it. I knew the games even before I knew the list. I probably knew there wasn't going to be the AAA PlayStation title. I was hoping for some rare ones as well, but I kind of knew that wasn't going to happen. So I was always going to buy it as a $150 collector piece. And it's fun to have. And
it doesn't
the games
disappoint.
room.
Aesthetically, it looks and feels lovely, and the miniaturization is perfect.
It's a cool piece. It's nice.
And something to show the grandkids. Like I think it's great exposure to games from another era. that other people may not want to track down all those discs on
Yeah, the
eBay, in which
purists-
case would cost you more than 150.
Yeah. And like we said, the purists like us are playing those games on CRTs,
Yeah.
on the actual system, with
Yeah.
the games, real deal.
So-
But
so that's
those
it.
people who don't have that option, don't have the room,
Yeah.
or the want to collect those games, then
That's it.
this is
we're-
perfect.
Yeah, we're not going to slander it too much. You know, we think it meets a niche, and there's a lot of fun to be had, and
Yeah.
it's a beautiful collector's piece, no doubt.
Yeah, cool. All right, we'll wrap it up there. So, thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it and enjoyed some feedback and some thoughts that we've had. We've also did a little unboxing video on the Den Den's Instagram page that's up there for the next little bit. Yeah, so check it out, and then you can check us out on Instagram. We're on the Den Boys at Den_Den_boys, and you're on.
Da Retro Games.
So check us out on Instagram. Hit us up and give us some comments on the video, and
We'd love your comments.
yeah, we'll check it out for the next one. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.